Hi, my name is Michael Hilliker, and this is my digestive system portfolio. So, this portfolio is about the role of the pancreas and the liver in regulating digestion. So, first slide is a little bit wordy, but there's a lot of good background information about the liver and the pancreas. So, we'll just dive into that. So, the liver and pancreas are both gastrointestinal organs, and they are both considered endocrine glands, meaning that they secrete their products or hormones directly into the blood rather than through a duct. So, the liver and pancreas, and also the intestine, produce more than 3 liters of secretion every day. So, the contents of this secretion are what is most important because they are necessary for completing the ingested nutrient digestion. So there are a few important secretion contents from that 3 liters. Those include digestive enzymes, bile, bicarbonate, mucus, and an isotonic sodium chloride solution. Now I've singled out 3 of the most important ones that the liver and the pancreas deal with themselves. So digestive enzymes, those ones are produced by the intestinal epithelium and also, most importantly, the exocrine pancreas. So the release of these varies, but it includes neural, hormonal, and also paracrine signals. Bile is the next one. Bile is made in the liver and it is released from the gallbladder, which helps to facilitate the digestion of fats. And the last one being bicarbonate. Bicarbonate neutralizes the acidity of the chyme that is produced from ingesting the food because the chyme enters a small intestine from the stomach, so the bicarbonate helps to neutralize that acidity that is caused from that. So this mostly comes from the pancreas, and it is released in response to neural stimuli and also secretin. So moving on to the liver. If you look at the diagram here on the side, I really like how it shows how the liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and the bile passage, that they're all connected. That they're so closely related, and their functions, they're just needed so close by to be able to really help complete the digestive process. So, a couple facts about the liver. The liver is the largest of the internal organs. It actually weighs on average about 3.3 pounds in an adult. And a couple of important functions of the liver include cholesterol synthesis, protein synthesis, hormone secretion, and dysfunctional or aged red blood cell destruction also occurs within the liver. And it also processes nutrients that are absorbed in the small intestine. So again, it's interesting to see just how closely related everything is to the intestine to help push the whole process along. A few more important liver functions. So as mentioned earlier, the liver secretes bile. The secretion of bile comes from the liver cells, or the hepatocytes. And again, that helps to aid in fat digestion. So the common hepatic duct takes the bile that is made from within the liver to the gallbladder for storage to be used later. Now the common bile duct then takes the bile from the gallbladder to the lumen of the small intestine. So during the process of fatty food, like fatty digestion, bile salts can act as detergents to help make the fats soluble during digestion, and those are made from the bile acids. Now the liver cells, the hepatocytes, contain enzymes such as cytochrome P450, and this helps to metabolize drugs and xenobiotics to clear them from the bloodstream before they reach the systemic circulation. So because of this, drugs have to be given orally and usually in a higher dose to be able to clear this filtering process. At a higher dose meaning than an actual IV infusion, because when the IV infusion occurs, it's much more direct and doesn't have to go through this filtering process. Moving on to the pancreas. So the pancreas actually contains both types of secretory epithelium, endocrine and exocrine. So the endocrine secretions come from clusters of cells called islets. Exocrine secretions come from the lobules called acini. So the acini empty into the duodenum from the ducts that are associated with the acini. Now the exocrine secretions can include digestive enzymes and a watery solution of the sodium bicarbonate ion, as mentioned earlier, and this goes directly into the duodenum. So the secretion of the pancreatic juice is stimulated by a few things, by secretin, cholecystokinin, or CCK, and hydrogen ions in the duodenum. Also, endocrine secretions come from the islets of Langerhans, and these include insulin and glucagon. So the role of insulin, it helps to decrease overall blood glucose levels, and glucagon works in the opposite way to help increase blood glucose levels. Again, there's a nice little picture here to the side, just shows how the pancreas can release its enzymes, again, directly into the intestines, and just how closely related they are to the stomach and the intestines in this region. A little bit of information just about pancreatic digestion. So enzymatic fat digestion is carried out by lipases. So at this point of digestion, lipases are unable to penetrate that bile salt coating that I mentioned earlier that is created from the intestinal emulsion. So now fat digestion will require a colipase, which would be a protein cofactor that is secreted by the pancreas to help aid in this process. So colipase will, the way it works, it helps to displace some of the bile salts, which will make that fat inside the bile salt coating more available for lipase to digest. So it just makes it more available, makes it easier, and just helps to carry out the process of actually digesting the fat. And also there are phospholipids that are digested by pancreatic phospholipase. So again, another lipase that can help to digest another type. Also important to note that free cholesterol is not digested and it's actually absorbed intact. So that is the end of the PowerPoint slides. Now I actually have my study worksheet here as well. Just for the study aid, I did it with matching the functions of the liver and the pancreas, and also left an option to include whether it could be both. So the first one, being an endocrine gland, that would mean that the liver and pancreas are both endocrine glands. So this would produce more than 3 liters of secretion every day. That'd be the liver and the pancreas. But also, as mentioned earlier, that does include the intestine as well, in that 3 liters. This would secrete insulin and glucagon, and that would be the pancreas. So what would secrete sodium bicarbonate into the duodenum? That would also be the pancreas. And then the place for cholesterol synthesis is in the liver. Aged red blood cell destruction occurs in the pancreas. The liver secretes bile, and the liver processes nutrients that are absorbed in the small intestine. And actually, moving back to number 7, that would also be the liver as well, where aged red blood cell destruction occurs. So we'll just change that. All right, and that will end the consideration of the role of the liver and the pancreas in regulating digestive functions and the digestive system. Thank you very much.